Welcome to Tech Fever, Play Everything's tech show right here on youtube.com/play everything, where we run you through the news of the tech world, from home theater to smart home, all the way to AI and robots.
Put a chip in me, bro.
Put a chip in me, bro. If you have questions for the podcast, go ahead and send them to techfeverpodcast@gmail.com. I'm your host, Mike Doherty, and alongside me today is Kevin Coello.
Hey, what's up?
Exciting. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, dude, I'm very excited. I love talking about tech, and man, what a week to start, you know?
I know, CES 2020, baby.
That's what I'm all about. I love CES.
That's kind of why I wanted to do this, is every time we're together, we're always talking about some kind of tech and like having conversations till 2 a.m. about like AI and like everything, which there'll be a lot of that.
AI's not that bad, dude. You don't have to be afraid of it. Just embrace it. Just embrace it. It's going to get good.
It's going to take over. I'm worried about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so this is basically Play Everything's tech show. Very excited. This is a new show. And I mean, there's so many things. We'll do pick of the weeks. We'll do ad segments as we go. Also deals of the week as well. So I'm excited to get into it.
That's always a good one.
You ready to talk some tech?
I'm ready, dude.
CES. What just overall
CES 2020.
What is your impressions or thoughts on CES 2020 so far?
It's all right. You know, I feel like there hasn't been anything huge where I was like, oh shit, this is going to change my life, you know? Every once in a while, like, the technology comes out where I'm like, ooh, I'm going to need that new TV. And this year, I feel like,
the Vizio OLED not doing it for you?
Nah, definitely not. Vizio OLED? Come on, man.
I mean,
better than my C8. C8? That's what I got, right?
Yeah, C8.
Ooh, I love that C8 so much.
It's a beautiful, beautiful TV.
Yeah,
No,
sure
I mean,
is.
I feel like CS hasn't had like a real pop in like years, though.
I don't know. I feel like last year's like Hue stuff, I was real excited about
last
that
year's Hue stuff was cool,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
even then it wasn't like crazy. Like it wasn't like if they announced like the sync box at it.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was like halfway through the
Now,
year.
what did they announce for the sync box? It's going to be integrated to Google Home. Great.
Oh,
Great.
That's what you want.
No, I don't need it, though.
You got Google Homes.
Yeah, no, I know, but the way I have it set up right now, everything goes in through it, and it switches inputs on its own. So, like, I'm all set there. I don't need Google Home to be like working with it.
Yeah, Hue especially, I feel, was like lackluster on like the announcements.
They've really committed to outdoor in a way that like is so unfortunate for me right now. Where it's like I don't have any outdoor needs, although a lot of their outdoor lights look really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean it is.
And
that's the thing, it's for a niche, right? Where it's like a lot of people who are in apartments or who don't own their home, like outdoor lighting is for such a specific like audience. But
you gotta have a house with a backyard.
Yeah, but people who own houses have money, so it's like they're gonna. I see the money grab there.
100%. Yeah,
that's the market they're going for. But like no like crazy like no announcement that their lights are gonna be brighter. You know, like nothing.
That's a real disappointment.
Nothing that's like actually like, oh man, that would be really cool to like see.
Absolutely.
But so Hue
they did
overall,
announce the downlights that will now have color, which is real exciting.
Yeah, I mean, like
if you like downlights, that's pretty exciting.
There's a few other things where it's like, okay, this is like cool, or like okay, like outdoor stuff where they have a grasp on that market like completely. I don't think there's anyone that comes close to what the output that they have. But I mean, a smart home I feel like was lackluster. Like,
No major. I mean, last year we had like smart home integration and like everything. Like a bunch of speakers were announced. They're like, oh, suddenly they're gonna be able to integrate with Google Assistant and all this stuff, and that was really cool. This year, I really feel like it's been lacking on that end.
Yeah, no,
I guess we recently had the Made by Google event that again was also kind of a lackluster event. Yeah,
well, and then like I feel like the only smart home announcements really were, did you see the electrical panel? By
but like that's such an interesting one where it's like that the amount of people that care about that is even smaller than like anything else, where it's like, great, now you can monitor your like electrical output, and it's like, all right,
and like your breakers are hooked up to like smart, like,
which means you can remotely turn them off. Why would you ever want to do that?
You never know. You gotta work on outlet real quick. Don't gotta go to the box. You can switch it off right there.
Okay,
but do you trust that?
All right. No, I mean, it's true. Your whole life is on the hand there.
It disconnects to the Wi-Fi, and you go to like adjust something, and you get electrocuted.
In the video I saw, they were like, "Oh, you can turn off just like a specific room," and it's like, I guess the only time you would want that is when you're doing work on that, and then it's, do you trust that the system worked? Yeah.
That's the issue though. But it's
I really
it gets us closer to that complete smart home, like
right.
Everything.
Everything is being controlled. I just think that like the actual need of having that is so small, and it's weird that like that really is the only thing we can point at and be like, oh, look at this big change, and like the cost associated with that is so tremendous to switch out your whole electrical board. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, and so there was that, which is cool, but again, like I said, very niche. Like also you got to own your home for that.
Yeah.
Which again,
I mean,
America,
you don't have to
people,
necessarily, but like it would be a bad like update to like a rental.
Yeah, and then also like you're paying for that. Like no landlord's gonna pay for that. So, and then Samsung's Galaxy Home Mini finally announced. Again, Bixby sucks.
Cool.
So I don't know
Bixby,
why you
thank
would want-
God. Man, it's how funny is it? One of the updates on like I can't remember what phone it was to turn off the Bixby button.
I don't, and they're running with it. I mean, Samsung's press conference was about like I feel like all the press conferences really were like other than Sony was really touching on AI.
Yeah,
like AI and
what did Sony touch on at the end? They ended with the car thing.
Yeah, I mean, car's cool.
Yeah, the car's really cool, but like, is that ever going to become a real product?
I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Tossing you around everywhere.
No, you're all good. So I mean, we'll touch on the car in a little bit, but it is cool. It is, and I think it would become a real product, especially because the success that you see from like Tesla, things like there's a market there, and we're getting closer to.
Yeah, but it's a company that came out like specifically to make a car. It's not like. Like Sony hasn't made a car before.
Yeah. I mean, Mitsubishi did TVs and cars.
They still do cars and TVs.
Oh, no, not TVs anymore.
No, they're done with TVs?
Yeah. When was the last time you seen a Mitsubishi TV?
I don't know, man. I'm not on the prowl looking for a TV.
But
I told you, I found my TV. The C8. It's great.
We talked about the integration with LifeX earlier, with the connecting to like other smart lights, and then like
wait, that's not LifeX though. Wasn't that Nanoleaf? Yeah,
Nanoleaf.
I thought it was LifeX.
Yeah, Nanoleaf being able to integrate with like your Hue or your LifeX bulbs, which is cool. But again,
wait, first before we do that, the new Nanoleaf actual leafs, they're like
the hexagon ones.
Yeah. Man, those look so cheap.
Yeah, but they look cool.
Do they?
Yeah.
I feel like the
have
way
you seen my square ones?
No. The ones they have now, I don't like the little plastic cover they have on it. I feel like that also cheapens it, where like kind of it's made to disperse the light a little bit more. The little covers that it have, but I just feel like the new ones look like they're made out of paper.
See, I didn't see a difference between like the new like fabric, or like the new material. I think it's the same like plastic.
Well, they changed the backing on it, so it's easier to like stick it on stuff
Which
and
is
not
nice.
have. Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Big plus.
But I just felt like the like overall, it didn't look like it's as bright, and the light doesn't look like centralized. It like.
Yeah, that was the issue with the other ones. Too.
Yeah.
It's like it's not there. It's cool though because it is like. Have you seen it where it has the bending like attachments, so where it can go from wall to like ceiling, like
no, I hadn't
flawlessly.
seen those.
It's really cool the stuff that they're doing.
I've seen some of those integrated with like I like to go to the Hue Reddit a lot, and there was a dude that put it up where he had his Hue lights working in conjunction with the Hue Leaf, and he had so like an absurd amount of leaves.
And that's so expensive.
And it looked cool, but at the same time, because those are so big and they don't do like the colors are so, you have a 4-inch by 4-inch square of color. It doesn't go with the flow of everything.
No.
It looks cool for a picture, but I can't imagine the practicality of actually having that all set up, let alone spending the thousands of dollars it must cost.
And that's the thing. They're so pricey, but it's like a startup program.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that you see them starting to get into lighting. They even announced the smart light bulb that they have too. So it's like they're in the game and they're popular. They're immensely popular. So
man, those smart light bulbs, they look real big.
Yeah.
Weird shape
in
on them
weird
too.
Shape,
yeah.
Did they talk about a lampshade on it? You know what I mean?
I mean, you'll make it fit, but like at the same time, it seems like it's being designed so it doesn't like so it's more of a piece.
Yeah, like part of I know.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, did they even talk about how many lumens they are?
No.
Yeah.
There's no details on any of that. So that's fun. And then like the last thing, we talked about. Yeah, I mean that was smart home.
Yeah.
Like that was
it, and it's just
where
crazy.
Last year it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a lot. So not a lot of smart home announcements. Ton of home theater stuff. Home theater,
which is cool.
I feel like it's always huge at CES though. All the home theater stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like that's where they're gonna announce all the biggest, like all the big companies are gonna announce their new TVs. But again, I felt like as far as LG's announcement where like actually came out, like was there any major things? I feel like their major things like, hey, remember the thing we showed you last year that rolls out?
It rolls down.
It's gonna be a product.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we already knew that.
Well, and that's the thing. Is that was supposed to hit market this year, like, or 2019.
Yeah.
Like at the end of 2019, that was the plan. I remember hearing rumblings of that. Like that was this, like in retail, that was the word that they were gonna be hitting like Magnolia Design Centers, things like that, like at the end of the year. So it's interesting to see that that they delayed it. Now they're like, oh, this is like it's coming at $60,000 for a 65-inch OLED.
Is that really how much it costs?
$60,000.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's real expensive. And at that point, you can get the 88-inch 8K OLED for $30K. So like half the price. And you can get 8K and 88 inches of an OLED screen. Like I just don't understand. Like it's for people with nice views. So that's like what? 0.5% of the population,
but
where
I mean,
it's like you have all glass windows.
That's how that shit starts, where it's like it's meant for a small market, and as it gets adopted, the technology gets cheaper to make.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, and I get that they have to have it hit market.
$60,000? I did not see the price anywhere. Oh.
Yeah. So obviously with the updates of LG's TVs, since we're on LG, the A9 Gen 3 processor, cool.
I mean, great. A better processor.
Cool.
Hey, there was a significant jump between the C8 and the C9 with the processor.
Significant. I don't think it's gonna get much better though.
Yeah.
Like the C9 processor is like really, really good. Like I don't see.
Do they talk? Are those called C10s now?
No, that hasn't been. They're still calling it C series right now.
Yeah.
I imagine it's 10.
You don't
but
think
they
they're moving
could
on
do
to X?
I hate that. Yeah, that's dumb.
It's gonna be a popular year for X. You know what I mean?
So that's cool. 48-inch OLED from both Sony and LG, both
that's
announced.
Cool, yeah.
Which is, I mean, everybody's going bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
So that's cool to see. Like
one thing I liked seeing from LG is like they did a lot of 8K stuff, but they continued with 4K stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to.
Samsung didn't have a lot when it came to 4K. They were really pushing their 8K.
They were pushing 8K, which is 2 models, and then there's we'll talk about that later. But yeah, they're 2 models, and they didn't really announce their like lineup really, which like
why wouldn't you?
I feel like LG is the only one on stage that was like, this is the lineup.
Yeah.
Right. They introduced 4 new nanocell TVs.
Mm-hmm.
So more of the crappy LG model. Cool. I mean, sure. Did you see the penthouse that they had, where it was all the different TV models?
No, I don't think I did.
They had like the rollable. They had the nanocell 8K. They had the 49-inch, and then what was the other one? The 80-inch.
They have They also introduced a what is it called? It's portrait. No, it's the one that it's between the wallpaper.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. That's another thing they announced. What was the gallery?
Yeah, gallery.
That
sounds right. Something artsy.
Where it's like you did that 5 years ago,
but now you don't have to have that like
stupid
dedicated
frame.
Yeah,
which also is interesting with the flushness to the wall, because it's like you're not using an exterior box, so it's like you see how it like channeled from the back, where it's like all channeled out, and you run all the cords, which is like it's cool. But if at that point, like get like the Samsung one.
Right.
It looks better. You can have custom like frames and everything, and sure, it's not as thin, but like picture frames aren't really thin.
Samsung also has the one cable, right?
Yeah, the one connect cable, which is like one of the few things that like.
Yeah, that Samsung does really well, where it's like everything.
It well?
I mean, we have what model do we have?
8000. You have you have
and that has the one
ones.
Connect too, and like it makes things easier.
One
we don't
Connect
have to go.
Mini though. Like that's even worse to me, where it's like the fiber optic one's actually really cool, runs power and everything. Makes more sense than how they used to do with the minis.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see the gallery TV, I guess, but it's an OLED. Like, you really want to leave art up there for hours? Like, what's the logistics of that?
I don't know. I feel like the processing on there does a good job shifting stuff enough where it's like, I've had my TV for 2 years now, and like there's no issues of any burn-in or anything like that.
You're not leaving it on art like for hours. Like that's the appeal
true.
of the Samsung TV, where it's like, cool, it stays, it's stagnant, and that's what it is. It's a QLED, it's an LED, it's not gonna burn out.
Right.
Sure, it's a Samsung TV, but like you're getting the thing that you want, right? Which is art. Whereas on the OLED, I feel like if you're leaving art up there, pixel shift can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of people are gonna be
sorely disappointed.
When their TV burns in the first year, you know.
really suck.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. It's OLED. Like, if you go into like any like store with like OLED screens, like on like phones even, where it's like you go and you swipe it and you see the burn in, and like even the TVs on display like eventually get burned in. So it's like that's gonna happen. So I don't know why they do this other than to compete with Samsung on something that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, like, and it's just one of those things. Not having a TV that can angle. Like the slight variations, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can angle it.
Can you?
Yeah, you can angle it. You just can't like left and right. But it does come down a little bit.
Does it? All right. The footage I had seen, because it has like an indent for that little wall mount. That comes
it works like the Samsung one, where it's like you can tilt it down a little bit, but that's it.
But the frame did look nice. Like the bezel on is so small.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, so that's cool with like what's going on with their TVs. They announced actually really cool movie maker mode or filmmaker mode.
Yeah, which is another one of those things where they're like, I hope that at some point this all works out, because going to someone's house and seeing the motion blur always upsets me so much. Where it's like, I'll be like, all right, let me see your controller. I'm going to change something. You just tell me what you think.
That's the first thing you disable when you go to people's houses. Yeah, it's such a snobby thing, but it's so right, because
it looks so wrong. It's so good for such specific things, which is watching sports games.
That's it, right? Where it's like, it's just a bad effect, and it's for marketing, right? It's because people hear 240 hertz, that's what they want, and then like motion 240 is like, get out of here with that.
Did LG do a bunch of gaming monitors too?
Yes, I actually didn't look into a ton on their gaming monitors.
They seem like upgrades to previous.
Yeah, and Samsung announced 2 of their ultra like curved monitors too, which is cool, but. Why do you need that much curve, you know?
Dude, they're really immersive.
Yeah, it's a lot of curve.
The Dell ones,
you see, great. It was like almost a C.
I know.
It's a lot.
You're in it, man.
Yeah, so Movie Maker mode's cool. It's cool. All the new TVs, you're going to be able to have the Bluetooth speakers, like any Bluetooth speaker.
That's rad.
I don't know why you would want that. Like, it's for the people who want something like... It's Gorilla sound, or surround sound is what I like to call it.
But here's the thing. I know that one of the other things that LG announced was like their like the processing is going to be even better at isolating audio when people are talking.
Yeah.
And like I have a problem with that right now, where it's like when it comes to certain things, like if I'm watching Amazon app, the audio is just not mixed well for whatever reason. Even using the Clear Audio 3 or whatever the setting is on there. When people talk, it's just so much lower than the background noise.
Well, with the AI audio in the 2019 model, the C9s, they actually really improved that.
Yeah.
So it's like they've
improved it even more.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like, okay, cool, but it's okay
because like as you get thinner and thinner, you have less space to like actually be like put speakers in there.
At that point, do an audio system, but it's like the Bluetooth audio. Okay, cool. It's for the people who are like, I just want to use this JBL.
Bluetooth's getting a lot better with Bluetooth 5.0.
Have you heard like any of the new speakers where it's like two of the speakers and they link together and you can do stereo?
No,
it sounds terrible. Like they're off. Like if you have them in 2 different places, you can hear the like.
You can't go in there and change the sync.
No.
See with Google Home, if you do,
it's through Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Different, Bluetooth's way different than Wi-Fi. Where it's like Sonos, like it makes a little bit more sense for like.
Well, Sonos speakers are great. Like, the audio quality. I really like them as far as it goes as like external speakers go.
Yeah, and for the price too, where it's like I've become
some
a little
of the Sonos
bit
get
more
real expensive.
Yeah. Well, I've become a little bit more of a like a audio snob. So it's like I hear Bluetooth speakers like ugh.
Yeah.
Because it's like so compressed and it's so like.
But 90% of people won't.
I know, and that's.
Well, I hear the difference. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Yeah.
But. All right. The G10. Oh wait, no, that was the. Sorry, my bad. The weird Balie partnership that they had too. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. No.
Totally pointless. It's just like, oh, it's about design and art. We're about design and art, and that was it. Took up like 5 minutes. Cool. I think that's all on LG for the most part. I mean, and then the AI presentation, right? I feel the big topic was AI.
Everyone.
It was cool to see them go through the 4 steps.
Yeah.
It's not practical. You're not going to get step 3 or 4 anytime soon. But it just seems so weird to waste half the press conference on that, where it's like...
I mean, it doesn't seem like they had much more to talk about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? that's the thing. It was like all this AI talk, but it's like really how far away is it? Like really... how far away is it? You're not going to get it anytime soon, like to where it's like it knows, like they had it to where it's like showing her different outfits,
Okay.
like all based on her what she wears and like everything. It's like we're not going to get that for like 10 years. There's no way it goes that fast.
But it's exciting to see like what some of the applications can be for it.
Sure, yeah, and that's the
and like
cool
that's
thing.
what it is. It's bringing attention and public awareness to it.
It's CES,
Yeah,
right? It's
exactly.
It's showing
Yeah.
what the I mean, same thing with the Sony car, right? It's not going to come anytime soon, but like they're working on it.
Or like the Uber helicopter like plane thing.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see that?
They have a helicopter?
It's a plane, but it's one of those. It looks like a giant quadcopter.
I think I sent a thumbnail of it.
It like goes up and then all the rotors rotate and then shoots forward at like 180 miles per hour or something. And like the idea is someday it'll be autonomous. Right now, the one that we're working on has I think passenger space for like 4 or 5 people and then a driver.
See,
like
that's cool. That's cooler to me at this point. Where it's
but
that's
like
cool
that but like that's another thing where it's like that's gonna be like that's even further away than 10 years.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've got to work with like different cities on like okaying all to happen. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean,
and I think the range is only like 60 miles.
Yeah, we can barely figure out like road systems at this point, especially in cities like San Francisco.
I know. We're like right now, half of it is like shut down because they're trying to put bus lanes in.
Yeah, great.
Like great. It's gonna make life better.
Have more things flying around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that was LG. LG anything excite you?
I mean, the new TVs, they're cool. Like processing jumps are great, but like we're in a weird place where it's like right now, what people are throwing out 8K, and it's like we don't have 8K content. And what like Samsung was talking about up-resing everything. It's like, well, that's not real then, you know?
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, even all of them do the up-resing thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I know at this point, I said it last year. It's like I hate that they announced it so soon, but it's like TV prices have got so low that they need something to like hike them back up. And what better way to do it? 8K and like TVs are still getting bigger. Like there's gonna be like 88-inch, 100-inch like models. So it's like. That's just what we're stuck with. Yeah, is like if you want a 100-inch model, it's 8K.
I also thought it was funny the LG's like stance on like, hey, this is real 8K.
Yeah,
where it's just like, all right, man, like it's so funny that they're already trying to define their standard as like the best one.
And they all did that.
Yeah,
I mean, so Sony.
Samsung went up, and there was like, there was a quote that one of the CEOs I think had said where it was like ours like reflects whatever standard is existing right now, and it's just like and
LG's like we're above the standard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all right, cool. I mean, I don't doubt that Samsung's fake 8K.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like it's probably fake 8K, and like it's cool. I mean, going into Samsung, right? It's first of all terrible opening with like more exciting than flying cars. Like that's what you set your like press conference at, like flying cars. More exciting than that. And then they show Balie.
Great.
The great droid that you could have for your home.
But let's hold on a second. Let's not get so negative on Balie.
That thing's gonna kill you in your sleep.
That thing's not gonna kill you in your sleep. That thing's gonna roll up on you, just give you little nudges, and tell you to eat healthier. Maybe I don't know what it's gonna do. There's no practical applications for it. But man, I love that trailer. The having him where they did the like. Oh, this is a day in life with Balie, and it was like this woman who's doing like yoga, and then Balie comes over and then puts her on the screen.
Yeah, it's
like, all right, cool.
And then like the dog relation, it's like no, the dog would fuck that thing up. First of all, second of all, if the dog spelled the Fruity Pebbles, you're telling me the dog's not gonna look it up?
He's gonna be looking.
Why do you need the Roomba?
For sure. But like, how cool was it when the dog spilled it? Dog ran out, loud noise. Dogs get scared of loud noise. That's a normal thing.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And then Balie came over and was like, this ain't right. Immediately turned the Roomba on.
Balie's on it.
I like that. And like, again, this is one of those things that like, that's such a singular case for it. But like, I could see little things like that where it's like, maybe it's not turning on devices, but it's notifying you when something's changed.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you brought up to me is like, you would already have security cameras in your home. Like with like the Nest and like
that's the kind of thing that it would integrate with all that stuff where it's like, it notifies you that something's wrong, shows you an image, and then on your Google Home app, you can slide over and see all the Nest cameras that you have set up, and you can see, oh shit, that's wrong. Maybe it like asks you if you wanted to do something else, and then you can move forward on that.
Yeah, and that's the part that I didn't even think about, where it's like, okay, it's cool, duct tape a knife to Balie, just in case any intruders come in.
He won't be able to roll around.
I know, man.
He's your friend.
I don't know how the tech works.
He's your friend. I'm telling you.
So cool. We got a little droid. I thought when they originally showed it, I thought that was gonna be it. You know, when he walks around and follows him for 2 seconds.
I'm glad we got the video.
When he walked around and then he was like, "All right," and that's Balie. I thought, okay, that's
cool,
great.
Yeah,
cool. It
they got a
rolls
droid
around.
that follows you.
But yeah, we got the video, which is cool.
I feel like them instead of him having a voice, like it being a Bixby voice talking to you, him just having little beeps. Like, that is so playing with our nostalgia of what we think droids should be. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Like,
imagine
this is moving our... Huh?
Imagine if it had the Bixby voice.
No, that would be awful.
How annoying would
I'm
that
so
be?
happy it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because they'd have to patch in a thing where you'd, like, download the app and then be able to turn it off.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like the phones. Yeah, so beeps are cool. I prefer the beeps.
It's fun, and it plays with the nostalgia where it's like we grew up watching Star Wars and knowing that droids make little sounds that sound have
some
emotions.
kind of language. Yeah,
emotions tied to it where we could react to it, and it's cool to see that starting to happen in real life. Yeah. I'm all about it.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see when that hits market, because I'm sure they're gonna make that hit market. I'm sure there'd be, and
it's such a dumb thing to hit market because it's just like
I do see it for like elderly use, like, because that's the big thing at CES this year too, has been a lot about like health and like wellness, right? Where it was like if you have an elderly like parent or grandparent, right, and it's like you need something to like if they fall, like they can get help,
Balie
right? Or like if like they're not up, like you can see what's going on, right? Where it could be kind of a companion in that way, which I see is very practical, because you see these things like the smart sensors now, where it is like if like have they gotten out of bed, it tracks their routines, things like that, where it's like, okay, if something's wrong, so like that's a cool practical use for it. Other than that, though, it's like
it's very
cool.
Practical.
It's a cool companion droid. You'll pay $800.
But again, it's the first step.
Yeah, and again,
I don't know where the next step is, but like I'm excited to see
the knife. The pop-out knife.
No,
and the lighter.
No.
Just like
the
a
lighter.
BB-8.
Yeah, a little thumb lighter.
Like that cigarette, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You just got to get on the floor for him.
So Samsung went from the Balie, went into... sorry, back to Balie, though. I love when he's like, I love this guy. Like, in his, like, accent. It was just the best.
Yeah.
The Samsung Health, there's a whole thing on the exoskeleton,
which was interesting.
Yeah.
What an interesting thing to like move on, where it's like, get this exoskeleton and then it can help you with workouts if you've got the glasses. It's like, that seems like
a lot.
Such a setup. Like, that's easily a $3,000 setup. Like, great, they haven't talked about price, but I'm imagining like that's gonna be
not cheap.
Yeah, that there's no way that's cheap. Augmented glasses, like that technology.
And
I
the
feel
lady's
like the AR
7 feet tall.
Yeah. It's interesting, but again, like first steps to some cool stuff, where it's like sensors.
I wonder if you could do it without the glasses, though, like set like tensions and things like that, where you can
maybe or have it with your TV.
Yeah, that would be cool too, like another alternative.
But again, it only measures this movement, your hips and your legs.
Well, and that's what's cool about them when they showed like the people walking. It's like, okay, that's cool, that's practical, like that makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's like, again, niche, like and like it's cool that Samsung's whole thing, what I actually liked about it, where it was tech with a purpose, right, where it's like they're being more transparent about like what they're sharing. Did you see anything like on that, where it's like
where you can go, you can look in and see who's looking at your information and stuff like that. And I don't trust that, though.
Yeah, I mean,
is it gonna have everything on there?
The fact that they do that is like bigger than any other company. Like, why would you even do that when like someone like Facebook's already doing it, like not doing that,
not sharing?
Yeah, not sharing.
But don't you think maybe this is a reaction to was it last year that they were talking about in 2019 that all of the TVs can like hear you and potentially be recording your audio?
Not the TVs, no, but like all the devices, like the little devices and like things like, crap, who was it? Was it Google? I think it was Google. No, that announced that it will go back. You can say, "Hey Google, that wasn't for you," and then it will go back and delete like the last. Like,
but that was also around when they were like, "Hey, they're having people monitoring the, like, to check to see what you said versus what it thinks you said."
Yeah.
So I feel like that was more reactionary than anything.
But I mean, it's good though, because they didn't have to do it. Because you and me would have sat here and still bought our Alexas and Googles and
100%
been fine with it.
Yeah.
And like Amazon hasn't come out with anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they didn't have to. So I feel like the effort that they're making is at least like.
I wonder what percentage of people are actually going to even look at that once.
Not many, but I think it's just like, hey.
But it is cool. You're right. You're right. It's totally cool that like they're being that transparent about those kind of things.
Yeah. So and then going into.
But again, I don't trust it.
Yeah,
I feel like they're giving you like, hey, here are all the people that like didn't pay to have this stuff hidden from us.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
you know what I mean?
There's complete exactly. There's a complete way around it where it's like they could just totally be lying,
right?
Like
right, withholding information.
But like I said, I feel like the step is there to where it's like, okay, I at least admire, like I appreciate the transparency,
right?
Even though it might not be really transparent, but the fact that it's there, because Jeff Bezos, he's not doing that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I do.
Just staring at me blankly. Another really cool thing that they showed off was the chef arms.
Was that cool?
So there's the article that I have here in the news where it is someone from the Engadget went out and they actually made him a salad.
Yeah, no, I actually watched that video.
Yeah, and it's designed to be not expensive. You don't have to do a whole kitchen remodel. It's something that you can connect so far. Again, what they're saying.
Again, let's see how not expensive these robot arms with like multiple axes are.
This is why
those robot arms get so expensive. I don't know if you've ever looked into buying one.
No, I have not.
Yeah, me neither.
How much?
But I mean, it really varies on how many axes you want. But it is interesting the way they did it. It's funny in the Engadget video, the dude was actually talking about how Samsung was trying to get an actual kitchen that
and they
was
couldn't
heated,
get it, like,
and they couldn't get it.
CES.
Yeah.
Which, again, practical. I'd say it's practical. Because there's a lot of times where it's just you cooking, and it's like you just need this like done, and it's cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like having all your prep work done for you, that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's really cool. And like the way that they're like, oh, it integrates with the refrigerator. They can figure out what's in there. That's rad too.
Yeah, that's the other thing where it's like it can actually take an inventory of everything that you have and recommend recipes based on what you have in there.
That is a genius idea.
Practical.
I've wanted that for so long.
And that's what I'm saying when you say it's kind of like a CES. It's like, it's like nothing like life changing, right? But it's still like, that's really cool. Like the fact that we have these robot arms.
You don't like AIs, but you have no problems with robot arms that are cutting tofu.
I mean, look, man. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, my hypocrisy, I could look past some things.
Right.
That's useful.
Yeah.
Balie, not useful.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's cool to have a droid, but again, the fact that the arms, and it's cool that they're aiming for this to be like, you don't have to reinvent.
I'm just saying, the robot arms, putting rat poison in your food. Balie rolls up, he's going to tell you.
You need both. Crosses out. So, yeah, that was another cool thing. The smart buildings was a whole presentation, which was like, all right, cool. Future cities, whatever.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, that was really
300 years.
Yeah, I mean, that was really it from Samsung. I mean, and then their TVs, of course.
Right.
Really, two that we got. The stupid Sero.
Which one was the Sero?
The one that rotates. Don't tell me you like it.
I just thought it was cool.
It's
the movement looked so smooth, and the practicality behind it, again, is one of those things where it's like, I really hope people aren't displaying their phones on their TVs, and like that's how they're consuming Instagram.
They are.
God.
They are. And that's the thing. This was already in Korea. Like, it was already released in Korea. People already bought this in Korea.
Really?
And it did so well that they're like, hey, let's release it in America.
That's crazy. Again, I liked it. I thought it looked cool.
For what? Yes, it looks cool.
Nothing other than it looks cool and it transitions. Will I always have it on the horizontal orientation? Yeah. But like knowing that it can switch over, I'm all about that.
Yeah, it's such like they're aiming at millennials with this thing.
100%, yeah.
But it's like how expensive will it be? Like millennials aren't gonna they're buying the TCL TVs. Like, why are they gonna buy this thing that like rotates and they could watch Instagram?
God, it's so hard to stay on topic. You drop TCL, and it's like, oh, did you see their?
No, I know.
Like, all right.
I know. Again, this is our first show trying to figure out. Usually, it's not gonna be this much news.
Right. There's a lot.
This
of news.
is a lot of news, so we're unpacking a lot here. Yeah, and then the Q950 8K Infinity display looks gorgeous.
Yeah, but 3 of their sides are. What is it? They're bezel-less, right?
No, all of their sides are bezel.
Oh, is it all of them?
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, the 3, the top, the bottom,
yeah.
And then there's like a little bit more of a bezel on the bottom.
Yeah.
But back speakers, cool. I mean, again, TVs are so small.
How many back speakers does it have? Like something
6.
Was it only 6? I thought it was like 17.
No, I think it was 6.
Oh, okay.
It was 3 I would imagine like 2 tweeters and then the stereo.
Okay.
But cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. It
Get
was
a
great.
sound system.
Yeah.
Sound bar at least.
Yeah, or buy an
AK.
LG. Or buy an LG.
I'm sure this thing's going to
with
be
real
expensive.
AK.
Yeah, real AK. And what's bothering me is they're all using the different logos.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Sony has that like brick one, and then Samsung has the weird one, and then LG has that one where it's like the 8 and then the K and the blue K.
That's an ongoing issue that will always happen.
4K was standardized.
Yeah, but HDR wasn't.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's good. It's a great
and
point.
4K was standardized from the beginning.
That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly.
Making great points.
Eventually, it'll be standardized because all the companies will just decide to use one logo eventually because that'll be the true 8K.
Yeah.
But I still think we're so far away from that, and for Samsung to spend so much of the like time on like look at all these 8K monitors that they're all up-res everything. And it's like, but if I can't like watch 8K stuff just normally, then like what is
that's the thing.
Right,
That's what's surprising about Samsung is made sure they were first to market.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling.
Yeah,
like, they are selling.
Oh, yeah, you know more about that.
Yeah, from working in the retail environment, it's like I've seen
industry.
Environment.
Oh, I see.
Industry is too formal.
I see.
Where it is like, I mean, I've seen probably like 10 AK TV sell. I mean, it's not a lot, but like a lot more than I thought I'd see.
Right.
Where it's like there are people just going, oh, AK, and they have the money. And
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. When there's a bigger number, people go for the bigger number, especially if they don't care about how much they're spending.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, why? Like,
well, when you see it next to something like a rollable OLED, it looks a lot more palatable.
Right.
$10,000.
$60,000 rollable.
So, I mean, and everybody's doing it. Vizio has is going to be having an AK model coming out.
Which
TCL
is really
has
interesting.
an AK model coming out.
Another really interesting one. Like, did they talk about price points for either one of those?
No, not yet.
Okay.
All pricing and release and everything is going to be coming out
later.
To finish off Samsung real quick. Anything else that you want to talk about on the Samsung conference? Or just in general?
The Neon is a separate thing, right?
Yeah. We're on Samsung. We can talk about it now.
Neon.
So explain to people what Neon is.
So Neon is their new AI that Neon is a separate company, right?
Yeah,
that
it's
Samsung
like a Neon collaboration.
That Samsung is collaborating with, where they basically makes a fake person and has them interact like a normal person would. So yesterday they made the initial announcements, and like I feel like
it was leaked before then.
Yeah, and like people were talking about it, and it was like super excitement, and then they showed it today, right? And it was like, oh, this doesn't seem like it's where it needs to be. Yeah.
And that's what's hard about CES, because it's not like a something like an E3 where it's like, okay, these are out to market like in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, no, this is like coming down the line. But it's like, it is weird seeing the concierge like trying to like be lifelike, and it's not. And it's at that point where it's like so unsettling.
The most shocking thing to me was the voice. Like how the voice AI seemed like Google Home is way better sounding than that.
Especially, did you see with the Google Home with the reading? Like
no, I didn't actually check that out.
Yeah. Actually hearing it, which is again, that's another piece of news which we'll talk about now. Google Home announced that in an update that they'll be able to actually read full articles to you.
I love that,
and it sounds pretty fluid. Like it still sounds like a robot, but like compared to what they showed with like Neon, it was like, yeah, that sounds a lot more natural than this robot AI. Like just it's unnerving.
Absolutely,
to see this AI in this stage.
Yeah, but and then I just it's so shocking to me that companies bring these things to market. Like the facial animations that they had looked good, but it just didn't match with the voice.
The voice was all fucked up.
And in the future, it's going to be all artificial people, but all of those were based off of real people,
human people.
Yeah, which is one of those things where it's like, well, I don't believe the technology is as far out as you say it is.
So Samsung, just interesting with what they decided to focus on altogether. I mean, there's a couple other things, but again, just kind of like, okay, cool. CES things, as you would put it. The most interesting, I'd say the most interesting out of all of CES so far has been TCL. Because the way that they're gaining market share
Yeah.
is the same way Samsung gained market share.
Right.
They came up as like a nothing company, and then they started doing everything, and they started doing it at a low price, at a good quality, and then here Samsung is now. I've been saying it for years now, since they hit the U.S. market. TCL is you're gonna walk into a Best Buy and you're gonna see like a TCL pad.
Yeah, for sure.
Because first of all, look, TCL cheap.
Very cheap. Very cheap.
It's not gonna last you very long. It's actually one of the only TVs I've actually seen do the brown spotting.
Yeah.
Where it overheats.
Yeah.
It has a bunch of brown spotting and brown screen. Only TV I've ever seen do that, and that was on their like 6 series, which was like awarded an innovation award from.
Right.
That they kept harping on the press conference. They're really pushing the mini LED technology. I don't know if you've seen this. It's like
no, I did,
LED,
but it's just one of those things.
Good.
Like
like micro LED, where it's like literally pixel size LEDs, where it's like this is like okay, really small LEDs,
Yeah.
where it's like okay, it's cool. I've seen it. It looks good. Like the black levels look good, but again, it's TCL and the processing. So
yeah. Those are still backlit though, right?
Yeah, they're all backlit.
Yeah.
Or not all of them, but like, yeah, the micro LED is still backlighting.
Do those also integrate like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like different like backlighting units. So instead of having one backlit unit, it's multiple clusters.
Yeah, zones.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
zones.
zones.
Well, and with what's interesting about mini LED, like micro LED, is it's so small as you just have so many of these different zones where it's all controllable. And Vizio actually did a really cool demo of it where it's like they took off a layer of one of the screens.
Yeah.
And it showed how the backlighting worked, like in terms of like why it's better to get like the smaller zones.
Yeah, but I feel like when you have the option for OLED where these like are actually putting out light, like the actual pixels are the ones that are emitting the light, like that.
Well, and that's what micro LED is.
Yeah.
It's like the pixels are emitting, like the LED is the pixel.
But they're still backlit though, right?
It kind of in a way, but it's like very like micro LED is thin.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you seen like the side shot of the wall, it's
Yeah.
thin like OLED. So it's not all these color filters that it has to go through. So it's like literally just red, blue,
Diodes,
and green, like LEDs. So it's LED, it's OLED, just not organic, which is better. In theory.
Yeah. You don't have burn-in problems,
no
right?
burn-in,
Yeah.
and then no like brightness issues. Not that OLED really has brightness issues.
Right.
Big myth.
Yeah.
But TCL phones. TCL's getting
that one's an interesting one because I feel like that the market for phones is so saturated.
Yeah, but think about it. They're doing a 5G phone under $500, which is gonna be one of the only 5G phones under $500. All their phones are gonna be under $500.
That's the thing. 5G is such a like nebulous thing where like I don't feel like your everyday consumer understands the difference there.
And they will.
Yeah.
I mean, just like with everything. Like
Is it
I feel like they
Samsung?
don't understand the difference with 8K, but like it's still one of the things where it's like, oh.
I feel like we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, this has a better resolution, and people know the difference. Like I feel like the 1080 to 4K jump was big enough.
I think you're really, really giving people a lot of credit for what they understand and what they don't understand. I mean, yeah, for people you and me, like obviously we understand that it's like better resolution, but like I don't know, 5G, I mean 4G, 3G, like they went through it. It's faster. Like that's really what you have to know about it.
Yeah.
In theory, right? Is this is gonna be a lot faster, and like how often does your like cell reception slow down?
All the time.
So it's like 5G. Okay, cool. You don't have to worry about it as much. You can't play your Stadia on anything.
I know, it's so unfortunate.
So I mean that's cool, and then they have a foldable phone in development. Which
cool.
Fold is another.
Fold was, I feel like, a big thing this CES, and it was last CES too.
Just with Samsung though, really. I mean, there's a couple other companies.
Laptops and stuff.
There's a couple other companies
Dell,
that
right?
like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, Samsung first to hit market with it.
Yeah.
And honestly,
and how did that go?
But with the reiteration, like with the next iteration, like the update where you didn't break your phone.
How embarrassing is it that they had to pull all their sample ones out back because people kept pulling off the top layer?
It is really embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's just imagine buying first of all,
$2,000, yeah.
And then fucking it up.
But it's cool technology.
It is. And have you held it?
So cool. No.
Okay. Honestly, I'm like, if it wasn't $2,000, I'd be, and even the Razer, I'd be really tempted to buy it. Like hands on with it, it is actually really, really cool. and it really does a good job at what it.
And I understand
what
that. And I totally understand that. But here's the thing: the front display on it, right,
So
when
small.
it folds, it's so tiny.
Yeah.
How is that practical? If you want a dual display monitor like that, I'd say go with the LG dual monitor.
Well,
the dual phone. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but
I'm not saying that that's good, because like everything I've seen of that, if people playing games on it, it's like nobody likes a non-tactical
it's terrible.
controller.
Terrible.
Yeah, but it's like if that's what you want, like the fold, like you can still see the crease. You'll always be able to see the crease, right?
If you look at it, you really only see it when you're off angle. Like when you're using it like this, right, which is how you use your phone.
Yeah, that's true.
You do not see it.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
But at that point, get like an iPad mini, you know?
But what I'm saying is, one, it's really cool tech.
Yeah.
Two,
I think it's really
I do like
interesting
Huawei's front screen, like on their foldable phone.
Hey,
it's
can you buy
it's a
Huawei's
lot bigger.
anymore?
But here's the thing. You can't buy Huawei's.
Yeah.
And that's what's interesting about TCL getting into the phone game. It's like with their relationships that they have, I think that, again, and with the Chinese companies, just with their connection to like the Chinese government is one thing that is a little unsettling, to have your data, like you're giving your data to them. TCL has a much better chance of actually being able to hit American markets.
Where are they based out of?
China.
Oh.
Chinese company, just like Huawei. But they don't have the past that Huawei
Yeah.
has, where it's like the TCL's revered in like the United States. Like it gets great reviews from the
absolutely.
TVs.
Yeah,
It's one of those things where
they came in so hot with like their price point that like it changed stuff, where it's like it allowed 4K to be more accessible to a market that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And it's like when you compare it to Samsung or an LG, like sure it doesn't look as good, but like
look, I
when
would
you're
take
comparing it to your 10-year-old 720 display,
Still
it looks so much better.
And it's one of those things where
but here's the thing, it's not going to last 10 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not going to last as
Yeah.
long. And two, it's like I would take a TCL 5 series over like a Samsung like 7100 or 8000. Like even like to me that it's you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. But it's like when you get into the backlighting, it's like at the price that they have them, it's just like spend a couple extra $100 and get like a Sony 900F. Like get something that's like better with more zones and like I don't know. That's the one thing where it's like everybody's hyping up their 6 series like it's like the greatest thing ever, but it's all right. Get brown screen.
Yeah, I've seen some burn-ins where it's like the whole screen is being consumed by the brown. It's shocking.
They also announced that they're going to be doing appliances.
Cool.
That's the thing is
cheap appliances.
They're going the way of Samsung,
though,
where it's like they're trying to hit the ground running and getting and that's why I'm saying like the most interesting of the movement at CES was TCL.
Right.
Is that they're doing so much. They're doing things like variable refresh rate, and they're updating all their older TVs with all the new like software stuff.
That's great.
Which none of the other TVs do.
It's so upsetting.
So
God, I love my C8, but the C9 firmware seems so much better. And it's like, why don't they just patch that over? Why?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like something so simple.
Yeah, you could easily do it, yeah.
Well,
I guess technically the processor is not as good, so, there's
the
the limitations.
Buy the new
Yeah,
TV.
exactly.
No, but that's the nice thing that TCL has
doing.
that mind share where it's like
let them grow a little bit as a company. They'll stop doing those things.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just like any company, right?
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
You're going to want them to buy it. But TCL, the 8K, just to touch on that one more time, it's going to have a glass display.
That's cool.
Which is really actually
I
cool.
like the glass over. There's something about the way the light reflects off it when you're getting like external light hitting it, where it's just the glass looks so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool. We haven't seen an LED with a glass screen in a long time. Been a very long time since we got LEDs with the glass screen. So cool.
Yeah.
They're doing interesting stuff. They're making a lot of moves. Yeah. And Hisense also. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
$5,000 short throw laser projector.
Oh.
The cheapest on the market is $10,000.
Jesus Christ.
So
those short throw projectors are really cool though.
Yeah, they're really cool.
But again, small market.
Running through this real quick. Vizio real quick. Really one cool thing on them was the OLED. They're doing an OLED model, which is going to bring the price of OLED really down.
Yeah.
Because
and like that, honestly, like that's the best thing with all these, with TCL and Vizio going into these markets is it's going to have to like Samsung, the bigger companies they're going to have to react in a way that like I think is always positive for like as the consumers.
Even with a 48-inch model of the OLED, it's like you're gonna have to bring the price down. Like the prices are all gonna come down, and then with Vizio getting in, it's like, can we get a 55-inch OLED for $999? Probably. Like that's what Vizio does best. Now again, going back to their qualms, where it's like they finally updated their stupid remote, which is nice, and their software is getting better, which is still crap. So then getting into Sony. Opening with gaming, really, not really. Announcing a couple numbers and the PS5 logo.
Cool. It looks like the PS3, PS4 logo. You know what I mean?
It's been a really prime opportunity to talk about hardware, in my opinion, where it's like you just talk about the hardware, the specs.
Come on, man. They have E3 for that. They have their own event for that.
E3 is perfect for games. You spread it out to where it's like you do the hardware nerdy shit now, and then you do the games and the shit that people care about later.
But in previous generations, they throw their own event. They threw one in February.
Not even previous generations, last generation.
All right, yeah, I know, but like that's a template they can keep going.
Are they though? I don't know.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, cool, really boring. Honestly, this was the worst press conference out of all of them.
It wasn't good.
Like I was way more interested in
TCL's. But real quick, the PlayStation 5 will be able to do 4K Ultra.
Wow.
Yay, good. There's no other upgrade they can do. It's insane that the PS Pro
didn't have a PS4 Blu-ray player. It's insane.
It's so upsetting, and it's the only reason that I use my Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that, and you think Sony would get that with, it's like, okay, DVD player, PS2, Blu-ray player, PS3.
I mean, I've cited a lot of places that the PS2 DVD player was one of the major factors in PS2's success. I mean, great games too, but like that was a lot of people's first DVD player.
Yeah, these DVD players at the time were what, like $400?
No, even more expensive than that.
Yeah. So you're going $400 or $500 for a DVD player. It was absurd. It's like for what, $400, $300? I think it was.
Was it $500 when it came out? Maybe
PS2?
$600? Oh, PS2. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right,
like $300, $400, and you get a gaming console and a DVD player.
Yeah.
Where it's like and same with PS3. Same thing with PS3 with the Blu-ray. That's why a lot of people had the PS3 was
and
for
it's
the Blu-ray.
What a mess up to not include it on the PS4, and then iterations on that.
Yeah.
They had two PS4 consoles that came out afterwards that they still didn't have it.
They could have swung.
They got rid of the optical cable.
Great.
No, I love the optical cable.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Great.
It's so useful.
It's great.
Yeah. And again, I understand that I'm a niche thing where it's like, how many people are actually trying to play their console while connecting to Discord? I guess more and more now.
Yeah, well, and even there's gaming headsets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Astro A50 that I use.
So it's like,
because it has the optical out, like I can wire stuff differently. And it's such a nice thing to have. For a while, Kind of Funny Studios, that's what we did for getting game audio, was going out through the optical. Yeah. So we figured out a better solution for that.
But that's exactly the thing where it's like, okay, Sony is I'm worried about them a little bit in terms of like, but again, this isn't gaming, but like in terms of what they're doing.
This is not, I feel like this wasn't a great CES for any company in particular. Like,
no,
I'm not
look, I'm saying
no, I understand.
TCL had a great Vizio, even though they didn't have a press conference.
I meant to say any one of the
companies
the big
that matter.
Companies, yeah, not companies that matter, but like the companies that we know and like trust already.
Yeah, I mean, and
although Sony had the car.
Yeah, so and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
The football game shot with the 5G wireless cameras is very cool.
That's
very
cool.
Tactical. Nobody's gonna use that in terms of like mainstream, but
IGN's gonna own a bunch of those. I'm sure.
That's a big thing. Cool.
And
awesome.
that is really cool. But again, that is not consumer. Like that's prosumer.
They're gonna sell a lot.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they developed that technology, I'm sure it will be used just like their cameras are used.
Or their wireless mics.
Yeah. So. But again, nothing for like me at home where I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna do that, right? I'm gonna use that. No, I'm not. Yeah, and then autonomous driving with the car, like that's really like
the car looked cool.
The 3
that was a rad car.
Looked super cool. Their interior was more premium than Tesla's. Mm-hmm. That's the one gripe everybody has with Tesla.
Yeah, but like they have one of those, made. That's not like wide distribution or any plans to go into wide distribution.
There's BMWs and the other company have like a more.
But I'm just saying, like to make a concept car,
a lot
much
easier.
Yeah. But like, damn, that display, the internal like all full dashboard display,
super cool.
Was so cool.
Super cool. They're still trying to promote this 360 audio, which is like another one of those Sony things where you're like, all right, like cool.
Did they have the speakers coming out of the headrest too?
I didn't read up on that. I don't think
that might have been
I didn't see any
company that was
speakers
doing
on
that.
the headrest, but they do have like speakers placed everywhere within that to where it's like,
Dude, clean ass
if you
audio
play
everywhere.
things that are 360 audio, which I'm sure will be like a couple Sony albums.
Think about it. You got that full dashboard, which means you can do the like ultra wide theatrical movie aspect ratio. And have full
5.1,
7.1.2, man. I'm sorry, it's got Atmos and shooting down at you.
Oh man, it's cool, and I like seeing people get into the electrical car game because it's like the more competition you have, the better. And it's a concept car. They're very clear that it's a concept car. It's not. You couldn't even roll the windows down on this model, so it's like okay, but it's cool to see more people getting in there because the more people you get in there, then the prices come down, and then
diversity is always important.
Yeah. So, and I want.
But is Sony the right people? Like, are they actually gonna come out with a car ever? No.
I don't. I think you're wrong.
I think this was them showcasing stuff
Their
to get
car
companies
sensors.
like Tesla to be like,
Use my car sensors.
Yeah, use my car sensor. Use our dash display.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that's cool too. And it's like, I hope that we start seeing stuff like that in real life. But
well, and there's a lot of that where it's like LG had a whole room where it's like how they could cram as much OLED down your throat as possible. Did you see that?
No.
Where it was like the plane cockpit, and it was like a 65-inch TV, which would never happen on a plane. But like this is their vision of the future, and like it goes into theater mode where it curves the screen.
I did not see that.
Yeah,
Man, that sucks.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then like the heads-up display, like on cars, like
so cool.
And then didn't BMW do like a holographic display as well? They showed one from what I was reading.
I don't think I saw that.
It's like Tony Stark like we're getting to the point where it's like
Tony Stark.
We're starting to talk about like Tony Stark like becoming a reality in terms of.
There was another concept car which I wish I had written down, but it just like it was one of the like. The inside design was so beautiful, where it was like...
I think it's the BMW one.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it's the BMW one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it was a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
And that, again, having all these companies kind of come after, like, Tesla and try to catch up with them is going to be good for all of us. It's like, the faster we get there, the better. And then we get all this cool shit, like, tech crammed into it, too.
Yeah.
But
because that's what you want, right? While you're driving.
Yeah.
Heads-up display with a little dude that's
like,
telling
the
you...
sensors and everything. It's like the fact that, like, one day I could, like, you know, play the Switch and have my car drive me home. Like...
No, I mean, that's the dream, right?
And, man...
Can you imagine
seems
a
so
long
far away,
commute?
but I feel like we're close.
Yeah.
But it seems so far away.
I feel like people have been saying we're close to that for so long, and it's like we like in the last 2 years we've had companies experimenting with stuff, and that's so cool, and I hope they continue.
Remember Tesla's cyber robo taxis by 2020 or 2019? Never happened.
Well, I mean,
20,000 of them.
They had their issue with San Francisco where they didn't get the right permits and had to immediately stop.
Oh God. So I mean, it's cool stuff. Sony very lackluster on their kind of performance, and then going into kind of the bigger or the computer news, bendable laptops. The most unuseful, it's tablets at that point.
Yeah,
tablets with Windows 10.
I mean, that aspect I think is cool. That it's going full Windows 10, and the idea of some of these laptops that they can open up to like 17-inch screens, also cool. But like,
did you see the Lenovo one where it's like the magnetic thing that puts onto it?
I mean, I feel like that was
such a crap keyboard where it's like it's so thin, it's not really tactical. It's like a Mac keyboard, which is like the worst keyboard in the world. Now you can have it on a bendable OLED laptop.
But like, how cool was that display? Like when they were able, because it had two places where you can put the magnetic keyboard. Yeah. One was all the way at the bottom, and then you had a little bar on the top that you could, I don't know what you would
just
use
like the Mac ones where it's like you can adjust colors and Adobe or whatever.
Well, that's like one line. This was like a 3-inch spread, and then you could also move it up. So now suddenly it's a like armrest.
Yeah.
And again, the practicality behind these things seems
what
so...
What pissed me off was them doing it with the keyboard off, and then they had the timeline down at the bottom for like video editing, and it's just like, and they were using their finger, and it's like, no, I would hate to edit that way. Where it's like the
have
things
you never
that
edited with a touchscreen?
No.
Oh, it's awful.
I would imagine it being
I've had
awful.
to do it a couple times.
So it's like, I'm cool off that. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, but I still like the aspect that like they're not tablets, that they are full-blown Windows 10 PCs that have the full functionality of a Windows 10 PC. Like that's better than a tablet in like the limitations.
$2,500.
No, yeah, it's impractical, but it's a cool looking gadget, and like I feel like that's right now we're just getting all this emergent technology that like unfortunately the execution, it doesn't seem like it's going the right way.
Yeah,
but it looks cool.
I would rather spend $500 less and get the Samsung Fold than buy one of these laptops. It's infuriating. Just seems so impractical and so unnecessary.
It does a lot more than Samsung Fold though.
But do you enjoy using it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I bet a lot of people who like Engadget, CNET, and what's the other one? The Verge. From all their articles with hands-on with them, they're like, it's cool. Like just what you said, it's cool tech, but man, it sucks to use.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like we're getting to that point where it's like we're trying to pioneer this folding tech, and it's like some people are doing it right. The Razer phone, actually really cool.
Yeah,
I like the idea of it. Like,
do you?
I can't wait to actually hold one and like feel it and see like
that. That's another one where it's like, why would anyone want this?
I mean, if you think about it, there are a lot of people who are just like, actually, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's cool. I mean, it can
no,
go
it looks
compact,
cool,
and you can throw it in a purse or a pocket real easy, and it's
you
not
fit
like
your
a
phone
big
in
thing.
your pocket right now.
Yeah, but it's too big sometimes.
This is like 2 inches smaller.
If I don't wear a belt, sometimes it makes my pants sag.
It's okay.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what the Razer is directed at.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then last thing, for talking tech, for this week's podcast. Sorry about the again. We have a lot of pieces of paper here, a lot of news to cover.
What do you apologize for? They love the paper.
Thank you.
It makes great noise.
Appreciate you all.
ASMR.
Yeah, we covered a lot in that time. Roland's. We were talking about.
You got
you
such
don't
a
know.
crush on this company.
Look,
yeah.
They actually launched something that's actually really cool in terms of showing it off. It's a plug and play mini studio for smartphone vloggers. So it literally is a control deck that you plug in to your phone, where you can get you can use that connectivity to be able to go live. Has all the switching boards, the XLR cables, everything, and you can actually plug in a second phone for a second display.
Oh.
So it's this.
Now you're winning me over.
Yeah, no, it's really like an on the go, and like I said, it can go through Wi-Fi, or you plug in your phone and run off your cellular service. And where's the price on? I had the price on this.
Probably a lot.
No? I think it was like something like $600.
Really?
Yeah, $600, and it's like an all-in-one. Like you can switch, you can be able to control audio, you can be able to switch displays from different phones.
Switchers are insanely expensive, and a switcher is exactly what you're talking about. That incorporates a bunch of different cameras. Over at Kind of Funny, we use Blackmagic switchers, which we've had some problems with the overheating, but we also run our machines to death. So
24/7, yeah.
For $600 at a price point, that is.
Yeah, it was sub
$1,000.
Yeah, it's definitely under $1,000. I believe it was $600 from the price I checked. Let me know in the comments.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, it's a Switch, and they had one last year, the one that I showed you earlier today.
Yeah.
Where it's $1,300.
It's a big jump.
But it's plug and play. The same thing where it's like you don't really have to download anything. You can it will capture everything that you're going into it and send it right to OBS. So it's like this is really cool to where it's like on the go. You can set up this. You don't really runs off batteries, and you can also plug it in.
Wow.
And you just plug it into your phone, and you're all set to go. You can have one as a camera, and you can have one as whatever, and you can switch to that, and it's just a cool thing where it's more tech like this is good, especially for production tech. Where it's
absolutely.
We live in a time where it's this is so common for people, where it's we're now getting things where it's we don't have to jerry rig 2 game captures together on OBS to try to make things work, right?
Spend 3 hours trying to figure out why this capture device won't update correctly.
Yeah, so it's instead of trying to jerry rig things together, it's companies are coming up with the thing where it's okay, you can do this on the fly, you can do this, you can do this.
More solid
that's
solution.
why I like Roland. So that was just another really cool thing I saw on CES. People wrote about it. Thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool. Are we going to talk about...
Did I miss something?
Yeah, the gate box.
Oh, yeah, the weird hentai thing.
Yeah. hey, it's only weird hentai overseas. When they bring it over, they're getting rid of that. Yes. It was an Engadget video I sent you.
Yeah. It's a smart speaker with a little Japanese girl on it that will have some wine with you and talk to you and make you not lonely.
It's an existing product right now, and it uses some cool hologram technology that they're getting rid of.
Which is dumb, because that's the coolest thing about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the hologram.
But I imagine the cost is going to go down significantly.
It was $1,500, right? Overseas right now.
Was
like
it 15? I thought 1,500 was here, but I don't know. You could be right. It might have been.
I thought they said that he bought his in the Engadget video. He said his friend bought one and it was like $1,500 when he bought it.
Yeah.
So I imagine
that's another thing where it's like the use case for it overseas is real interesting, but the use case that video was talking about here
is like concierge services where it's like
right.
it's in a hotel, it's on cruises, which is what they were really pushing.
Right. No, the idea of like, can you imagine having that in like your little cruise room?
Hey, can I get some towels up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go get.
It's like, no, the towel service is done. But you have an answer, you know?
Do you really need a second order of chicken wings to your room?
I thought
judgy.
I thought in that video they were really weird and vague about what company was talking to them.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that like I then immediately saw the Neon video and was like, at the end of the Neon video, they're like, companies are really interested in concierge services. And it's like, haha.
That's the first thing that
there we go. Yeah.
I could see them. And that tech seemed a lot more cohesive than Samsung's tech. Like with the...
Yeah, but I'm saying utilizing the neon like artificial person in that display, and granted, it sounded like the Americanized version or the domestic version would not use it used an LED display.
The LED display where it's like angled with some like mirrors to make it look like
a little bit of
holographic.
Yeah. But it's just that's one of those things that's really interesting, and watching those videos back to back made me think like, oh, maybe it's Samsung and Neon that are looking into this, because like that totally fits with what they're like trying to build out there.
Yeah, it's the smart speaker stuff is so interesting, and like it's gonna get so saturated at some point where it's like, all right, just put Google Assistant in that thing.
I mean, but that's gonna happen,
and then give me a person who, like, stare at me. You know what I mean?
You'll be able to design your person.
That'd be cool.
Would it?
It would. A little avatar.
Yeah,
comes up there.
Do you want it to look like you?
Maybe
a little you coming up.
Maybe a little bigger boobs. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord. Little Mikey.
We have a question.
Oh.
So the question comes from well, let me read it. Hello, Tech Fever podcast. Alec Bobco?
Yeah,
Bobco, like
Bobco.
the bread.
Yeah, no,
Bobco here. What are your thoughts on the Charmin toilet paper delivery robot?
Damn. You told me about this, and we didn't watch the video.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll watch it. So there wasn't, like, from what I've seen, it wasn't a video. It was an article.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't, like, an actual video of it, like, functioning.
Uh-huh.
But from what I was reading, it's like, if you run out of toilet paper, you just give it a little call on your phone, and then it will
Where's
come
he
over.
coming from?
I don't know. That's the thing. Who knows?
You have to have the right setup for that.
But if it can meet you at the door,
100%.
Like, it looked like...
No more shouting, you know? Pa! Yeah. Pa, I need a toilet paper roll!
Tombo, I'm out of TP. To be able to, it looked like they had it like...
God,
like,
or getting up with a dirty bottle of some toilet paper.
Like getting up, it's the worst.
Yeah,
so it's like
likes
if you can meet them at the door, you know what I mean? Or if you can open the door, who knows? Who knows how advanced these can get.
See, this is functionality they can add to Balie. And make him a 10 out of 10.
You're selling me on Balie.
You see what I'm talking about?
You're selling me on
you
Balie now. So terrifying.
Just let him pull a little train or a little cart.
Or he scoots under the door.
Oh, there you go. One square at a time. One square at a time. He just rolls on it.
I love it. I love the technology. Yeah. So I saw that. Watched the link that read the link that you sent. Really cool tech. Charmin seems to be doing some interesting stuff that's not dated or anything like anything that's coming soon.
Charmin the
Bears. Charmin Bears.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Good. Did you know they were owned by PG&E?
No, I didn't.
Interesting. Anyway, that's what the article said. I thought that was an interesting thing I didn't know. Now
I'm
you know, the listener. He says, can't wait to see what the podcast is all about. Congratulations on the start of the new podcast. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks, bud.
Picks of the week. I don't think we have anything. We had a lot to cover this week, so we're going to be back next time with some picks of the week. And tech steals of the week, I just put down a couple. Power Beats 3. $94.99, $105 off of Best Buy right now. Go pick that up. All these are Best Buy deals.
I wonder why.
55-inch Sony 900F is actually below the $50 below the Black Friday price right now, so you can pick up a really good full array backlit TV if you're looking for one.
What you bought it on Black Friday? Can you get your money back?
No.
Oof.
I mean, I'll look. You know what I mean? You can pick that up for $1049.99. Like I said, $50 below Black Friday price, and it's open box season.
Yeah.
So if you want a good deal, they will give you a deal. They don't want it, so go to a store that does open box. They will sell it to you at a good price.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
That's exciting stuff.
Always Bartle.
I love open
They don't say lowball 'em. Lowball 'em. Right,
That's
Tumble?
right, you cocksucker.
All right, Kevin. Anything else to sign off here with?
Jabra also announced the new version of the headphones that I have.
With more waterproofing, right?
Yeah. Although I have like the sport version, which I originally bought just on a whim, even though the other one had better overall like Bluetooth connectivity and stuff.
You're not happy with them?
No, they're not great. But I have been going to the gym, and I'm really happy I went with the waterproof one.
Getting those pumps in.
They
you sweat a lot. You seem like a sweaty boy.
I'm a sweaty boy. But yeah, so it's like I haven't looked into them enough, but I'm curious to see if you have wireless earbuds and you love them. Let us know in the comments. I want to see what.
I did buy the Sony ones, the 1000M3, like the.
Are you not using the
ones?
What did you have before that? You had the Bose ones.
I had the Bose ones. Those ones.
But they
broke.
stuck out. Oh, is it because they stuck out too far?
No, they just stopped working one day.
No way. Did you hit up?
Bose? No, I didn't. Probably should have.
Yeah,
probably should have.
First thing you should have done.
Yeah, no, I think I had them longer than you.
Yeah.
But, so I loved them when I had them.
Mm-hmm.
They were a little. They did stick out a little bit. That's the thing with the earbud technology is nothing's perfect.
Yeah, the AirPods.
They're all good.
Step off, all right? Step off.
There's nothing that's like absolutely like perfect yet, and like the Sony ones, I was really excited to try out.
Yeah. Are those the ones that have the
fit right?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like they're longer.
Do they have the noise cancellation?
Mm-hmm, noise canceling. Like
supposedly that's a game changer.
There's some of the best. Yeah, the M3s, the Sony over-the-ear ones.
Yeah.
Best noise canceling on the market.
No, but the Apple iPod 2 or AirPod 2s
Pros.
like also have that same noise cancellation, and like it's supposed to be a big improvement. Although a video I was watching, I can't remember who was doing it, but they were saying that the Sony ones were cheaper and work just as well.
Yeah, well, and better at some points.
Oh,
in terms of like the audio quality, which Sony's been making great like headphones like, the past couple of years. It's just they just didn't fit. I tried all the tips and it just didn't fit right in my ear, and like they felt too heavy. Whereas like the Bose ones, they were bigger but they were light.
Yeah,
and they had the little lock-in wing.
Yeah,
like for your ear. So to me, those were more comfortable.
The Jabra ones that I have are so comfortable. You pop them in and they work
That's
so well.
important to me.
Yeah,
where it's like
no, absolutely. Especially, and like I know that you're looking at me, you're like, this guy's not working out. But like when you're working out, like they stay in place and they work so well. Yeah, like I'm not getting any wiggle or any like I'm never like, oh, they're gonna fall out. I don't know. I really like Jabra as a company. Like it was one of my first Bluetooth headphones that I had that wrapped around. It was ridiculous and large, but it was again very well constructed. But I am thinking about trying something new.
I'm still on the prowl for headphones as well. I want to try out the TCL ones. I'm interested. I mean, at the price point, like, what could go wrong?
Sure.
Like, if they work, then awesome. They're great. Maybe next week. I'll have a little.
I think Skull Candy's got some $60 ones.
Yeah, but then it's Skull. Like, I would honestly take TCL over Skull
Candy.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to play around and see like where I want to go. I might go AirPods. I think I'm gonna try them out. See how they do. The Galaxy Buds are popular too.
I don't like their design. I'm not a fan of Samsung's mobile products just because like the phones have so much bloatware that it really like I was a big Galaxy fan, but like there's just so much stuff on there, and like I like having whatever Google's newest phone is, just because like that you get the updates faster and like there's no bloatware on there, and like I know that's so silly, but it's one of those things like I hate seeing unnecessary apps on my phone that I can't delete.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that like, and I know there's nothing to back this up, but I feel like it all slows down your phone.
Conspiracy tinfoil hat over here.
Well, Linus Tech Tips, phenomenal channel that I love so much.
Shout out.
He had this thing for years where like he had issues with Samsung phone for whatever reason, like the batteries would not last.
Could be the bloatware.
You know
Samsung.
what I mean? I'm not a scientist, not anymore.
Didn't you do Samsung phones before Galaxy?
Yeah.
And you're much happier with your Galaxy, right?
No, well now I have a Pixel.
Or Pixel.
Yeah.
You're much happier with your
I
Pixel.
had the Galaxies. I mean, I really like the Pixel. I know the Pixel 4 is getting a lot of shit. People aren't happy with it. And I'd never looked into reviews for the Pixel 3 XL, but like they're not great. Like there's a lot of negativity on them.
Yeah.
But the cameras are the best. You know what I mean?
But how much better though?
A lot.
You know what I mean?
You know?
Well, thank you for watching the first ever episode of Tech Fever right here on Play Everything. Thank you, Kevin, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You can check us out on all the podcast services, Spotify, Apple, and this will be coming probably within a week. They'll be live on those listening services. So Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all right there for your listening enjoyment. Of course, you can watch it right here on youtube.com/Play Everything. This is going to go, Thursday. Thursday when we do these. If we do these, it would be Thursday. Yeah, we'll see. This is a test run.
This
on
has been fun, though.
podcast.
I love talking about tech. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Like I said, this was great. I know there's a lot of news. I know I kept you were here a lot earlier.
Oh, we were
so
playing
I
with
did
some
rush
tech issues.
Rush it a little bit more. But again, I feel like a lot of great conversation. So thank you.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, comment, all that great stuff. Kevin, where can they follow you?
Ooh, at
check
Kind
out
of Funny
your
Kevin.
Go ahead and watch Screencast every Friday.
Yeah, it moves around, but every Friday.
Friday sometimes.
This week we're talking about The Witcher.
Ooh,
Did you like it? I did.
Go check that out over at youtube.com/kindoffunny. And as for me, you can watch me right here on Play Everything on, I think I'm on all the shows. So check it out. Thank you for watching and have a techful day.
Oh, also get in the comments. Tell me how much you want that Balie.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah, I'm all in. Put a chip in me.